Hey folks, Dr. Mike here for Renaissance Periodization, and today is video 2 of the probably 12-part series on how to construct your muscle growth training plan, your hypertrophy training plan, and we are going to be doing it describing how to do it in theory and in concept, and I'm actually going to be demoing how to do it right here with the RP Hypertrophy Training app. If you were watching this video before mid-May 2023, then hit the link in the description and sign up for the open paid beta. If you do the link to sign up before we release, you get into the pre-sale funnel and all your money goes into my bank account. No, wait, I wasn't supposed to tell you that. You get all kinds of free goodies, which is straight up totally true. And you also get a really cool, super low price to start the app with. So there's that. And if you're excited, get in that link. And I straight up build all of my programs with the RP Hypertrophy app now because I only train with the app because it's beautiful and amazing and I help build it. So all good things. And look, you don't have to buy the fucking app. I'll always say that. I think it's a really great idea and it's very affordable and will save you an unbelievable amount of time. But if you want to go your own way, no worries, because this video is not just an app promo video. It is a video that will tell you how to, in this case, select your exercises. If you want to go back a video, last week we put out a video about how to design your beginning of your program and choose where to put muscle groups and how many days a week to train. So to the exercises. Let's talk about how to choose exercises. There are a few rules, I'd say 5, in how to choose your exercises. 5 rules about how to choose your exercise. First, you want to think about what exercises give you the best SFRs, stimulus to fatigue ratios. That's super fancy science talk for exercises that whatever the target muscle is, let's say it's the chest, exercises that give your chest a ton of tension through the chest as you do them versus like, I don't know, I don't really feel my chest a ton of burn, especially at high reps, like torching your shit. Huge pumps from not so many sets, always a good sign. Your target muscle feels exhausted as shit versus like, I don't know, I can keep going. This exercise seemingly does nothing to me. And also gets you plenty or as much as you're genetically capable of in that regard of delayed onset muscle soreness or just muscle soreness after the training. Like if a leg press for your legs gives you crazy tension, burn, pump, exhaust the crap out of your quads and your quads get sore for a few days after, gee, it's kind of a winner. That's the stimulus side. The fatigue side is it doesn't beat up your joints a ton, and every single exercise you can do for every single muscle can be ranked somewhere on how much it beats up your joints, all the way from super low, I can't even tell, to like, if I do this, I will just get joint cancer and I'll never recover and I'll never have joints again. Technically, you want to pick the ones that are nice on your joints. You want the exercise also to not dump a ton of psychological fatigue onto you. Psychological fatigue can come from having to try really hard, which is a part of training, but if you needlessly have to try hard to get the same stimulus, you're better off at an exercise when you don't have to go psychotic, but you get a great stimulus anyway. And also a part of psychological fatigue, and really a big part, is how fun and enjoyable the exercise is. So if you bench press works well for you, so do deficit push-ups, but you just love deficit push-ups, man, that is absolutely a factor. It's a huge factor, but it's a meaningful factor and has been vetted in the research actually as being a predictor of success, as if you actually like the exercise you're doing. So that's number 1. Number 2 is you want to choose what you think you can progress on slowly. Progress is critical. It's the foundation of training. And if you have muscle groups in which you pick an exercise for them and that exercise is like, you do it, it's a good workout, but then the next week it's not a great workout and you stop getting strong pretty fast, just doesn't gel with you, But if you know from past experience that if you start squatting, you just add pounds and pounds to your squat over weeks and weeks and weeks, that is going to grow a ton of muscle growth over long term. So I would pick something like that. Third rule is if you're building your plan maybe for the first time or maybe for the 10 trillionth time, people will always say, not always, people sometimes say, often, maybe too often, that like, you got to switch it up, man, keep the body guessing. Your body does not have a logic system, just your brain. It doesn't guess. It's much more straightforward than that. Yes, variation is a good thing, so you can absolutely feel free to mess with some new exercises, but if you have some old favorites that just fucking work, just pick those. You don't have to get fancy for no fucking reason. So if you tell me, hey man, I'm thinking of benching again for my chest, I'd be like, okay, how's your stimulus to fatigue ratio? You'd be like, amazing. And do you think you can progress on the bench? You're like, dude, I always progress on bench. I'd be like, okay, this is a totally fine exercise. And he'd be like, well, should I like try dumbbell? Like, yeah, that's cool too. Like, I feel like you're not giving me any answers. Like, no, I really am. And I'll get to point number 5 in a sec to tie all this together. Won't spoil that surprise. But it really is totally cool to do old exercises and new as long as they check the prior boxes. So for example, we can go right here and go to chest on day 1. And camber bar bench press. Hell yes, that checks the boxes for me. And then for bake, we can choose assisted pull-up. Fuck that. Barbell bent over row. Hardcore. All right. Rule number 4. If we do not have an exercise in here, and actually I have to get back to one of my marketing associates to tell him how many exercises we have total in our library. It's a lot. Hundreds. But we don't have all of them. So if there's an exercise that you do not see in our list, like, dude, wear a 1-arm reach back, pull around face pulls for your orbicularis ani muscle. Google that, not at work. Unless you're an anatomist, and then Google it at work. If we don't have a certain muscle group, what you can do is go up to the menu and you can create a custom exercise. And why shit, I'll do this right now. Wait. Backspace. Dildo. Press. Exercise type. Ooh. These menu options, we got machine, barbell, Smith machine, dumbbell, cable, free motion, body weight only, body weight loadable, and machine assistance. I don't like to do anything dildo related if a machine isn't helping me. So I say machine assistance. YouTube vid ID. These developers are fucking brilliant. www.xnxx.com. Scott's a video guy. How you like that, baby? Shit. YouTube, do not, please fucking don't cancel us. Don't go to that website. It's full of bad things. And the muscle group, ostensibly you have to pick from this list. We'll say it's for, it's a press, right? Triceps, dildo press. Boom. I'm not going to save it because that's fucking ridiculous. But if you save it, it pops up in the menu under triceps. I'm not going to pollute. Scott, should I save it so you have dildo press?
Sure, I'll cherish it forever. When
Boom.
I put it in there, I'll think of you.
Hey, exercise created. You can create another, or you can just say, okay, I've had enough fun. And then let's see if the system works. This could be embarrassing potentially. We go to the triceps. This Apple computer. Dildo press. It's there. Of course, we're fucking picking it. I like that it's also all caps. I guess your caps lock is on and I'm an idiot. There we go. It's off. So anyway, you can make your own exercise. Now, here's the thing. Especially if you help link in a video for us so we can check it out. Gee whiz, I don't want to make promises. Like my dad did when he said, I'll be back later this afternoon. I haven't seen him in 15 years. Just kidding. I see my dad all the time. Every half a year or so, at least for the first little while, and probably regularly after that, myself and the Jared Feather IFB Pro and the Scott the Video Guy, we are going to travel to one of America's best equipped gyms. There's a couple gyms on our list. And we are going to video probably a person that looks more appealing than we do, demoing all of the exercises you guys picked that are the highest cross occurrence. So if like 80,000 of you active monthly users make me a trillionaire and you all pick dildo press, we will have a dildo press in the actual shit. Now, so Scott's Video Guy, I'm making a big mistake, right? Because these motherfuckers are going in there, 18,000 people are going to recommend dildo press. Fuck it, bring it on. We can always ignore it. No, wait. I should be telling it to somebody else, not you guys. On a serious note, just throw in the exercises that you want to see. And if you do that and other people do that, then eventually we will just have all the exercises that you want to see in there. If we don't throw your exercise in there, it's probably because you were one of the only people to select it or just not that many people selected it. And we have to prioritize on what most people want, but you can just always have your custom movements and your app remembers that. So you can always select them and they're just the same. And even if you throw your own video link in there, then you can have the pop-up video show up and you can remember what the hell a dildo press even was. All right, so that's that. Point number 5, that was point 4. So point 4 was if we don't have an exercise, feel free to fill your own. Point 5, in program design and in choosing exercises, really, there are no wrong answers. They just aren't. Most exercises are great, done properly with good technique, which we'll get to later. They give you great results. And feel free to play with our autofill feature if you just don't know what exercises to use. What do I mean by that? Let's say you're like, man, I just fucking don't know what exercises to use, or you're a nice person and you don't swear like me and you're like a mom of 3 and you want to work out and get in shape. Sorry for all the swearing, but you're like, I want to use this hypertrophy thing. I think that RP knows what it's doing, but like, I don't know about selecting my own exercises. Like, I don't have, I look at the menu and it's just kind of overwhelming. Watch this. We have an autofill feature, top right-hand corner. We click on autofill exercises and look at that. It conserved the ones we already picked, and then it inserted autofilled exercise into the situation. Over time, we are going to be advancing the algorithm that determines which exercises get filled. For now, the feature is mostly like a random suggestion feature, just to keep you creative. Over time, it will evolve, and we've already written the pseudocode for this, by the way, for you nerdy fucks. Over time, it will evolve into a feature that tracks what works best for you based on how you rate your responses in the app. We'll get to that in a future video. And it will more than likely surface exercises that have the highest stimulus to fatigue ratio as far as the app can tell based on what you actually need. As far as I can tell, in 2023, this is the only app that does a bunch of this actually, but this is the only app that does this. Learns how you respond through modern periodization, through your subjective feedback, and suggests exercises that are probably better for you based on your experience. So hit the description, click on things, sign up for the beta release, or if it's after mid-May 2023, just buy the fucking thing. Have fun making your mesocycle. Next time, in the next video, let's see what we have to cover. We are going to talk about how to, once we choose our exercises and our program gets created, how we do warm-ups and load selection. But before we get to that, one little bonus feature for you guys. Top right-hand corner, create mesocycle. Now you notice this app is already kind of smart. If you just go to, I think this is possible, select exercise. No, it's not. All right, I'll demo this another way. We add a muscle group and we say quads, fuck it, why not? I'm trying to get my legs swole. Notice that create mesocycle is now grayed out. That's because it won't let you continue to creating a meso until you pick all of your exercises, because you can't train with no exercises. So now that we trash can this one, or if we filled it in with something, now we can create meso. When we create the meso, we get an opportunity to name said meso, dildo meso. I might regret this in later videos. Fuck it. And it asks us how many weeks we want to train, including deload. So 4 weeks of training means 3 weeks of accumulation, 1 week deload. 5 is 4 and 1. 6 is 5 and 1. There aren't any wrong answers here. In later, in a couple videos down, we're actually going to get into the nitty gritty of, well, technically speaking, there is a way to optimize this based on your responses. But because we're making this video from the perspective that you're kind of writing your first program, at least in the app, and maybe your first program ever, we're going to say, let's just pick the safe bet and go 4 total weeks. 3 up, 1 down. It's the month. Easy, no problem. What units do you use for measurement? We could use kilograms if we were in the countries of Europe, but because we in the infidel America, we will choose pounds. And we hit create, and things happen. And we are ready in Dildo Mezzo. Week 1, day 1, Monday, baby. And we got bench, and we got good stuff, and we got the whole workout. We'll talk about that next time, and we'll see you then.